Club Minstrel Show. For those of you that have not been here before, we extend our sympathy. For those of you that have been here before, we have no sympathy. We have a very long show tonight, and if we don't get started pretty soon, we'll be here until midnight. So now the entire chorus will sing the melody overture of Strike Up the Band, Soldier Boy, Yankee Doodle Dandy, and Your Grand Old Flag. In the American game of baseball, a good leadoff man is a man who can get on base the most times, no matter how he gets there. We are very fortunate tonight in having in our lineup Thomaston's grand old man of baseball. He's been away off base for a long time. Yeah, indeed. As a matter of fact, he retired from the game of baseball when I think Sadie pocketed his last baseball up near Reeves Field. Tonight, instead of singing I Wonder What's Became of Sadie, Harry Lynch will sing I Wonder What's Become of Sally. Handsome Harry Lynch.
Friends
people of Thomaston. He's one of the few people that moved into Thomaston, moved out, and then moved right back in again. He's from Warner Lane. His name is Donald Sherman, and he's going to sing Ain't That a Shame.
What's on your mind, Harry?
You know that Pop Kane is quite a character.
I've known that for a long time,
And
Harry.
he catches on to things pretty quick.
Yes, he does.
Well, a little while ago, about a month ago, he had to go out to Kansas, you know, and he was riding along in the train, and he had to share a seat in the train with a lady. So they got into conversation. She asked him where he lived, and he told her Thomaston, Connecticut, where they used to make St. Thomas clocks. And then he asked her where her home was. She said, Wynn, Kansas, W-Y-N-N. So the train was moving along. Finally, the lady, she fell asleep. And she was asleep about an hour, and she woke up with an awful start and said, good gracious, have I passed Wynn?
What did Pop say?
Gosh, Eddie, I couldn't tell you. I didn't hear nothing.
What's up, Ted?
You know that Bub O'Brien, the big restaurant man over on the east side?
I've heard tell of him for quite some time.
Well, you know, he used to be quite a lover in his day.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
And Peck was telling me a story about when he was courting Jane, you know.
Yeah?
Peck was out on a double date with him some way or other, and they went parking, naturally, if Peck was there. So Bub, he's turning on the charm in the back seat, you know.
And the radio?
He's really making love to Jane, you know, and they finally decided to go. And just before they were ready to leave, Jane says, Bub, she says, I got something to tell you. I got a confession to make. She says, I got a terrible case of asthma.
What did Pop say?
Bub says, oh, thank God for that. All the time I thought you were hissing me.
Every year we keep our eye on the St. Patrick's Minstrel Show, see if we can come up with some good talent without too much trouble. We were very fortunate this year. We were lucky enough to get the future.
Yes, it does. I don't know whether it works or not, but it's here.
Thank you very much, John. The only reason our next singer isn't in the big times because he's never been fired by Arthur Godfrey. That's the only thing you need to make him a big success. He sings like, well, he's a combination of Julius LaRosa, Frank Parker, and Wallace Berry. He's from Inner Acres, Michael Martone. And he's going to sing If I Give My Heart to You.
If I give my heart to you, will you handle it with care? Will you always treat it tenderly and in every way if I give my heart to you, will you give me all your love? Will you swear that you'll be true to me by the light that shines above? And will you sigh with me when I'm sad and laugh with me when I'm glad and always as you are with me tonight. Think it over and please don't answer till you do. When you promise all these things to me, then I'll give my heart to you. And will you sigh with me when I'm sad and laugh with me when I'm glad and always be as you are with me tonight? Think it over and be sure. Please don't answer till you do. When you promise all these things to me, then I'll give my heart to you.
What's on your mind, Mac?
You know, the other night Harry Lynch's daughter was reading a book on vital statistics.
That's very interesting.
Well, after she got through, she went over to her dad and she said, "You know, Dad," she said, "every time I breathe, someone dies.
What did her father have to say to that?
Why don't you try Sensen? Why don't you try Old Bull? Why don't you try another joke for it?" I'm glad I gave you that one. Say, Mr. Interlocutor,
What's on your mind, Donald?
you know this here fella, Bill Beardsley?
Well, I know that there fellow Bill Beardsley very well. Yep.
Yeah, well, he used to be quite an innocent fellow in his youth, you know.
That doesn't surprise me. Or does it? I guess it doesn't.
There goes the punchline. Well, he was reminiscing down the club the other night with some of the boys and telling them about one time he was on a hunting trip. And he got separated from the other fellas and stumbled into a nudist colony. Well, the fellas, when he met them again, they said, what was it, male or female?
What did Bill say?
Gosh, he says, I don't know, they didn't have their clothes on.
Something was funny. Every once in a while we lose a star performer, it more or less breaks our hearts. We don't sleep for weeks and weeks at a time. Well, at the end of last year, Billy Kane announced that he was retiring, he was going to go in the front office. The aliens would trust him out there, so he had to come back here. And we didn't know what he was going to be in this year's show either because he just got back in town very recently. He was down in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian Institute. And he took with him his old fraternity pin, and it's in a glass cage down there now. Next year, he's going to be retired, and he'll be in the Smithsonian Institute. So you better listen while he sings, Take Your Girl to the Movies.
Start at a time.
Because relax, it's that time for everyone in love. That's why Johnny Crane wrote to her one day, when I go to see my girl, her folks are always there. That's why I'm blue. What'll I do? That dreamer said never despair. Take your girlie to the movie. You can't make love at home. There's no little brother there who's always sweet. You can do an awesome laugh and 7 reels. Make your lessons at the movies and have love scenes of your own. When the picture's over and it's time to leave, don't forget to brush the powder off your sleeve. Take your girlie to the movies when you can't make love at home. The Nick Mecca Trio, who appeared here last year. It's a guitar, bass, and accordion. The Nick Mecca Trio.
And I hope the plug works.
Stag Club building box. And now I think they've got something like $11,000 in it. Our next entertainer is a local man, well known to all of you. He's a man that receives a good many letters. He's our first selectman. And tonight he's going to take his opportunity to sit right down and write himself a letter. Chick Eggleston.
Right on the railroad here.
What's it, Wells Fargo? Chick Eggleston.
I'm fired. Open it up, open it up. Come on, open it up. Walter Swift, young Walter, that is, he does a lot of errands for the ladies up down High Street.
Oh, he's a boy that really hustles, Harry.
Well, recently a new family moved up there, and the woman in the house, oh boy, is she a luscious blonde.
Is that so?
So the other day she says to Walter, she says, I need some eggs at the store. Could you go for me?
What did he say, Harry?
No, but I heard my pop say he could.
Hey, look, you know that Mike Frashino is losing an awful lot of hair.
Well, last time I saw him, Teddy didn't have much more to go. He just couldn't lose much more.
He's on the way out.
Yeah.
I was sitting over in the barber shop the other day and I overheard Mike trying to sell one of his customers a bottle of hair tonic. Customer says, you got a lot of nerve, Mike, trying to sell me hair tonic. You haven't got any hair yourself.
Did Mike have an answer to that?
Mike says, what's the matter with that? He says, I got an uncle that sells brassieres.
That's why they say take your girlie to the movies. And now a popular song sung by our most popular ballad singer, Earl O. Beardsley, also known as Bill Beardsley, sings Mr. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make her complexion like peaches and cream. Give her some lips like roses and clover. And tell me that my lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Ain't got nobody to call my own. So please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make her the cutest that I've ever seen. Give her the word that I'm not a rover. And tell me that my lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Ain't got nobody to call my own. So please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me. Sandman, bring me. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bring me a dream. Make her complexion like peaches and cream. Give her the lips like roses and clover. And tell me that my lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm alone. Ain't got nobody to call my own. So please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me. Sandman, bring me. Sandman, bring me a Several years ago, there was a Stag Club trio, and it was retired by public request. And they're coming back tonight. That nobody's request in particular, but because we thought we might be a little short on the program. So here we are, the Stag Club trio, me, Ted, and Bill. Let's go.
This is it.
Really not better than sound.
You have to go through this again.
What song is that?
Oh, the Rose of the Trolley. Oh, yeah. You ready?
What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Not a soul down on the corner. That's a pretty certain sign. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. Heart of my heart, I love that melody. Heart of my heart brings back sweet memories. When we were kids on the corner of the square, we were rough and ready guys, but oh how we could
Jack, that was quite a woman's man. Woo! Anything about that at all?
Well, not too much, but a little here and there, you know.
Yeah. Heard the other night he had his girl up parking up around nice last Saturday night, in fact, it was.
Yeah?
And the lake, kind of loving her up
Trying to
a little
break
there.
the ice, was he?
Trying to break the ice, yeah. Well, anyway, he was... Well, anyway, she says to Jack, she says, Jack, honey, she said, if you had a wish, she said, what would you wish for? Jack said, well, honey, he said, I'd be afraid to tell you. She says, you fool, Jack. She said, what do you think I brought this wishing business up for? Yeah, I hope this was better. You know, this Whirly family, they're quite well traveled, you know, about the world. Last summer, they were over visiting England. And Al, you know, he hadn't seen any of those English castles like his wife's always told him about, so he decided to visit one. He went in, and Lord Dagenham, who was the owner of the castle, said, I'm busy right now, Al. He says, help yourself, go around, look the place over. So Al, he looks around, he goes in all the different rooms, sees the old armor, battle axes, and all that stuff. And he gets into one room near the end of his tour, and here's a lady taking a bath. Al stepped out quickly, of course, you know, being very proper, and closed the door. He got back downstairs, and Lord Dagenham asked him how he enjoyed it. And he said he liked the castle very much, but made one faux pas. Lord Dagenham says, what was that? Well, Al says, I ran into a lady in the bath. Oh, Lord Dagenham said, that must have been Lady Dagenham. Scrawny witch, isn't she?
Good many of you people out there are probably too young to remember what a sky looks like. But there's a good many of us back here that are wishing we had one tonight. The management has asked me to state that they are in no way responsible for what might happen within the next 5 minutes. And with the help of God, it will only be 5 minutes. We present now Rupala and his violin.
City second look to the country, they think that...
You mind if I don't stay? I've been listening to them rehearse for the last 2 days.
Walt is going to sing the Cat's Whiskers, and I'm going to play it.
On his Stradivarius.
Don't kid. You want a match for the mic?
Why
Mike Persino and...
The barber.
Yeah, Tommy Monahan, they
Yeah.
were drinking beer one night.
At the Thomaston house?
Yes, at the Thomaston house. So,
They don't have beer over there, what are you talking about?
it was getting kind of late, so they decided to go home, and Mike Persino says to Tommy, he said, look at Tom, look at the sun. And Tommy looked up and he says, no, Tom, that's the moon. So Mike says to Tommy, I'll bet you $5, Tom. So they decided to bet $5. And Tommy said, well, who's going to be the judge on this? And Mike says, the first man that comes by will be the one that will decide. So guess who happened to walk by? No one but Jackie McDermott.
The college playboy?
Yeah, the college playboys. So they said, now, listen, Jack, we want to make a decision here. It's very important. We want to know if that's the moon or the sun. And Jackie looked up, and he looked, he says, you know, fellas, I'll be glad if I know. I'm a total stranger here myself.
Has a son who is at Trinity College, and this year he was honored to be president of his class. So he came home one weekend, and his father asked him, what was the hardest thing you learned while you were at college? And the son proudly replied, how to open up a beer bottle with a quarter.